Hi everybody, this is Emily from Local Tasting Tours, sitting here in Hali Deli on Agricola Street. A very happy addition to our new Halifax North craft beer and food tour coming in our 2014 season. And I'm here with the co-owner, Sybil Feinberg. Sybil, I'm so in love with your food and most especially your brunch. Hali Deli is known for its fantastic traditional, authentic smoked meat. A lot of people are finding out that you have different items on the menu that they might not have considered. Do you want to talk about your menu?
Tons of things on the menu. Well, first of all, they're all homemade. We specialize in smoked meat and corned beef, but there's homemade chicken matzo ball soup. All the soups are homemade. The split pea soup. There's homemade sandwiches. Oh, the cheesecake. You like that cheesecake. It's a New York style cheesecake and it's delicious. What can I tell you? I tested a lot before we opened. I was looking for, a cheesecake that wasn't heavy. I must have gone through pounds and pounds of cream cheese. And you don't want it to crack in the middle. And I watched Martha Stewart and hers came out perfect. And I did her recipe and it didn't come out perfect. Anyway, just from different books, and I finally found one. And it comes out perfect every time and it's delicious. Yeah, it's good.
I was so taken with the family stories that are connected to this restaurant. I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit about the Bubby Bella sandwich.
When Victor and I were putting together the menu, we tried to think of things that we had as we were children. And a lot of the times my mother when she would make a sandwich, it was always a big sandwich. Bubby is the Jewish name for grandmother. All right? So when I was cooking for my kids, I'd always say, do you want a Bubby Bella sandwich? Because she'd always put a lot of lettuce and a big slice of tomato. And it was a sandwich. It was one that you can hold. It wasn't like flat.
I think every family has items like that. Would you like your Nana's such and such? Yeah. Our guest today is Janet Patton from the Bide Awhile Animal Shelter. And she's come over from Woodside today to have a tasting with us and to tell us a little bit about the animal shelter.
Yes, the shelter's been in operation for over 40 years. It was started as a very grassroots organization and has grown to housing up to 100 cats and 3 or 4 dogs at our capacity. So we now have staff on board doing the day-to-day operations and promotions and things like that. In the past, it was all volunteers. So the difference with us, I think, is that customers are greeted when they come in and one of the staff spends time with them while they're in the cat room or with the dogs, just to apprise them of the personalities of the animals and to make sure that the person that's adopting is appropriate and is a match for the animal.
I was interested to hear about this new food bank program.
It's a recent development. We informally did it for a while, but we wanted to ramp things up. So we provide food to people who are in financial need. It's a question of whether their pets are going to get fed or not. But we do need donations for it. So we're trying to get the word out about it. And I don't think anyone else in the city's doing that. So it's a really needed service, I believe.
Great. I bet there are people who don't know that exists, and it would really help them to know that they can get some support for their animal. I noticed on your website that there were pictures of kids coming in and donating their birthday money and that kind of thing. I thought that was so great. But you also have a program for seniors?
They started a program where volunteers weekly go out to various seniors facilities and take animals to visit with them. But the seniors love it. They just love it. They'll go in a big room, a big area together, and we'll bring the cat in, and they'll all take a turn with the animal. And some of the seniors can't get out of bed, so they really love that when the kitten comes in.
I noticed, Sybil, that you were involved in Burger Week. What makes it special?
100% all beef burger, 7 ounces. And then it's topped with grilled smoked meat and then a potato latke on top of that. And then you get a nice slice of onion, nice slice of tomato and lettuce, and then it's topped with spicy pepper relish. So it stands like a good 8 inches high. And it's always interesting to watch people when it comes to the table because they're trying to figure out how they're going to get their mouth around it. It's got so many different flavors.
The soup looks so beautiful, and it's sort of this giant blue bowl with the big matzo balls sitting in there. Oh my goodness. French fries have just arrived on the table.
It smelled so good, I couldn't deprive you.
That's Victor, the owner.
Some people come in just for the fries. I mean, look at them. And they're hand cut.
Well, this is a treat.
Okay. A matzo ball is a very traditional. I'm just going to pour some out there. It's made from matzo meal.
I can see how rich the broth is.
We take some of the actual boiled chicken that the soup was made from. That's what you're eating there. So this is a meal, and you get it with a piece of rye or challah bread.
Oh, absolutely. It's a huge bowl. The matzo ball itself is a really interesting texture.
Some people like their matzo balls hard. Right? In families, you have lots of discussions, at the table. Oh, we like them hard like golf balls, or we like them soft, or we like them like baseballs so you can throw. It's all kinds of jokes that go around. So I try and make them kind of in between, that they're not too hard and not too soft.
I haven't asked you very much. Can I get your take on this soup?
I love it. I think because of the slow process of making it and the proper stock and everything, it tastes delicious. And I've never had matzo ball soup before either, and I didn't know if I'd like the taste of the matzo ball, but it's really, really good.
We like to finish our podcast with a couple of questions, the same every time for our guests. And I wanted to ask you if you did have a favorite childhood food memory.
I have many memories because I love to eat. My mother, we had a galley kitchen at home in Glace Bay. There was a long, narrow kitchen. I wasn't the best of children. I was, bad behavior. So my mother, in order to, sit me down, she would sit me on the counter when she would be baking. One of the things that I was never a big sweet eater, but I loved whipped cream. So my mother would make these chocolate cake muffins. We still talk about it to this day. Anyway, she'd take the top off the chocolate muffin, scoop it out, and then she would take whipped cream and put it inside the muffin, and then put the top back on, and then put icing around it. Now, she had 4 children, and she worked, and she still did this. So I loved whipped cream, and I would just sit there. I couldn't wait for her to finish with that whipped cream, because that would be, if I was good, I would get the whipped cream, and that's one of the things that comes to mind.
It's a great story.
I was so bad. They used to call me Dennis the Menace, but I used to have like a pixie cut, and it would stick up, so they would call me Dennis the Menace.
Janet, I wanted to get your take on these French fries as well. Do you love them as much as me?
Yeah, they're really good. They're very addictive, so I'll be back.
Do you have a favorite sort of family-owned or locally owned business in the province that you enjoy?
I'm originally from Lunenburg, and I like going down once a year and poking around all the shops and the craft stores. I have an art background, so I just love that. So, and there's usually a few places to have a coffee or eat too. So it's a great little street area to walk around in.
Are you a fan of folk art?
I am, but in general, I like painting. I paint myself, so I just like to see what other people are doing and that sort of thing.
Well, thank you both so much for taking part, and thank you for this beautiful food, man. Sybil, how can people find Hali Deli?
Well, we're right on Agricola Street. The phone number is 405-2600. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter, which I don't understand, but we're on Twitter. The hours are, we open at 10, Monday to Friday. Saturday and Sunday we open at 9. And we're just in the midst of changing over to our summer hours. Monday to Friday, we always have free samples of soup.
And Janet, how can people find out more about Bide Awhile?
The best thing to do is to go on our website, which is www.bideawhile.org. We're also on Facebook and Twitter, and there's all kinds of information there on how to adopt and the current adoptable animals and the programs that we're currently involved in.
Thanks again. I'm really looking forward to bringing people here to Hali Deli during our summer tours this year. Again, this is Emily from Local Tasting Tours. Take a tour, take a bite out of Halifax.